Hello and welcome to Saturday Nights with Seven. I'm your host, as always, Seven. I'm on Colfax right now, and if I sound a little weird, it's probably because I'm kind of sick, or I'm actually coming off of a cold. I was really sick yesterday, but today I'm doing a lot better. Don't tell any of my passengers that I'm sick, okay? They don't need to know that I'm not feeling too hot. Took some medicine though, that seemed to help. So this weekend, whatever weekend it happens to be, I don't know when I'm going to put this up. My folks are at a meditation retreat. It's somewhere out of state. All I know is I'm supposed to be watching their house with a gun. I don't really know too much else about it. It seems like meditation has kind of become a fad recently. I hear a lot of different people talking about it. Even my folks, which by most standards are relatively conservative individuals. They're not very progressive. They're relatively progressive minded, but they're baby boomer generation. They're kind of not always on the up and up with the latest trends, but even they're hopping on this whole meditation bandwagon, this newfound spirituality and all the glorious things that can be obtained by thinking inwards and directing your thoughts and controlling your thoughts. I really don't think that I would never be able to get anything out of meditation that much, just because my brain moves too fast, and really, if I have even a moment of silence, having to be alone with my thoughts, I get freaked out really quick. There's nothing worse than being just stuck with your own brain, and it's sitting there hey man, what you doing? And I'm I don't know, just kind of enjoying the silence, and it's here's all this self-doubt and frustrations and worries about the future and what's going to happen with your YouTube channel and what's going to happen with your music career and what's going to happen with everything that you've ever considered, and then pretty soon you start to have minor freak out, and that's not healthy. So generally speaking, if I stay away from my own thoughts, I'm happier and healthier. Maybe meditation is supposed to solve some of those incessant insecurities, but really, why take the risk when it's just so much easier and so much less painful to really just stay in the dark and constantly drown out my own thoughts with music and YouTube videos like this one. Okay, if I can level, I can't stop picking at scabs. Scabs are amazing to pick at. Even if you start bleeding, it's a compulsion, and you got to pick at them. And if you don't pick at them, you go crazy. I know that's really gross. I'm sure there's people who are you pick at scabs, it's so gross. But let's be honest. Right now, you're sitting at your computer desk, and you've got a weird scab on your knee or on your arm because you accidentally scraped yourself while you were out jogging, or, accidentally, drop something on your leg. I don't know how you got your scab, but let's level here. You've been picking at it. I know you've been picking at it. Don't try and lie to me. I'm in a car. I can't see you. So even if you are lying to me, I can't really tell. But I know you're picking at your scab. And you know what? I'm going to be the first person to tell you, but it's okay. Go ahead and pick at it. Pick at that scab all you damn want. Because really, you deserve it. You deserve that. A lot of guys won't admit this, but there is one thing we all find incredibly sexy. The girl behind the counter at the auto parts store. It almost doesn't matter what she looks like, as long as she's working behind the counter at an auto parts store. Now, I know that sounds completely insane. Let me see if I can explain. Gearhead women don't really exist all that much. You know what I mean? It's just, they're not a major part of the populace. So when you run into one, somebody that, the cute girl that's selling you a carburetor, it's an immediate turn on because you're wow, we have something really cool in common, that you like cars, or, are doing this for a job, and I like cars and am working here on cars. It's a really cool thing, and we have that in common, and, that sounds insane. I know it does. But it's something I think pretty much any straight guy would gladly admit. So now that we're 3 episodes in, I'm sure some of you have noticed that have stock exhaust. My car is very much, in a lot of ways, not in stock condition. And let me tell you, as a car guy, it gives me no, I don't know how to describe it. It gives me such joy to have people compliment my car and just the little things I've done to it, you know. It sounds stupid, of course, but when somebody gets it and says, man, this is a really cool car, you're like, you know what? You're right. It is a really cool car. Thanks for noticing, man. Yeah, it's, or even better yet, when they actually tell me to, you know, in their drunken stupor, they're like, hey, why don't you get on the throttle a little bit? And then you bring it up to red line just once, and then you have, 4 bros in the backseat screaming like little girls. Occasionally you have these people try and out-hipster you by coming up with band names that you've never heard of before. And actually, with me, that's pretty easy to do. There's a lot of bands that I don't know about. But it's nice when I'm able to do the opposite, because there's a lot of weird alternative bands that I'm into that a lot of people don't know and don't care about. But it's nice when I'm able to show somebody something new in a genre they like that they weren't previously aware of. Like I had this girl tonight try and get me to come up with like some punk rock or like some hardcore stuff that she had never heard of before, and I'm like, have you heard of the Death Set? And I'll include a link below, but she was like, no, I haven't heard of the Death Set. And I'm like, well, check out the Death Set. And then I played some The Death Set for her, and she was like, whoa, I really like The Death Set. I'm getting paid every time I say their band name, by the way, just so you know. It's nice when you can win those dick measuring contests, because I'm not the best with obscure band names, but occasionally I win one. Staying more on topic of music for tonight, for some reason it seems that like everybody that gets in my car likes the Pandora Ska Station, which is mostly ska and then like a sprinkling of like late 90s, early 2000s alternative rock. So, and everybody immediately gets in and they're like, whoa, I haven't heard this band since high school. Are they still around? And I'm like, yeah, actually they were here in August. Or yeah, they're going to be here in December. Or yeah, they just put out a new album like 2 months ago. Didn't you hear? They're like, nah, I stopped caring about them. So apparently me liking punk ska is building a lot of bridges between me and passengers, but also making me kind of sad knowing that so many of these bands are still actually very active, and their target audience and their, you know, main demographic from only a handful of years ago is already totally forgotten about them. I really hope that doesn't happen to my band. That would suck. So, I normally do my closing, you know, when it's light out, but clearly that's not the case tonight. I am still fixing myself after that cold, and really I just kind of feel shitty. So I'm calling it an early night, and you should too. You know, snuggle up with your blanket, get some rest. You deserve it, because you've been working really hard. And I just want you to know that I'm concerned, and I really think you need to take some time for you. So go ahead and pull out that book you've been meaning to finish, or pop on Netflix and finish up that series that you've been telling yourself you're going to finish for, like, 2 weeks, but you never got around to. This was Saturday Nights with 7. I'm 7. And I'm going to go home and sleep. Bye, guys.